If you're new to coaching and this is your first time picking for a travel team, there's a few things that you want to consider when picking your team and making cuts. I know your first instinct is to pick the most talented players and the most skilled players, but in today's video, I want to give you a few tips on how to decide who deserves to be on the team and who doesn't. Now, before we get into the video, if you guys are new around here or you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button below. Now, like I mentioned before, most coaches' first instinct is to pick the best players, which, yeah, your players do need to play. They need to have some skill. But I'm going to go over some things that you want to look for over that. The first thing you need to look for are attitudes. Now, do these players have a negative attitude? Do they pout when they get out? Do they kick the dirt and kick their glove when they make an error? Are they bringing other players down or are they lifting other players up? That kind of negativity is toxic to a team, and it can turn a really good team into a really bad team. Next thing you want to look for is how do these players talk to their parents, because the way they talk to their parents is a really good judge of character, whether they have respect or disrespect. A lot can be revealed on just how they treat their parents. And the big thing you want to ask yourself is, do they work hard? What is their work ethic like? Do they hustle in practice? Do they hustle in games? Are they running on and off the field? Are they doing just enough to get by, or are they putting in the extra work? Are they showing up early? Are they staying late? These are the kind of things that you want to look for. And find out if they're coachable. I know a lot of coaches and evaluators will judge a player based on the player that they are now at the evaluation or the tryout. A lot of coaches will just sit back with their clipboard and rate the player that they are, but you want to get in there. You want to give them tips. You want to show them how to do the drills. That way you can find out if they're coachable or not. You can see who takes your advice and applies it right away. You can see who thinks they know more than you. You can see who pays attention when you talk and who's making eye contact. If you're just picking your players based on a number that they were evaluated on, you could be missing out on a lot of potential. For example, you could take a kid who's a 7 on skill and a kid who's a 5 on skill, but if you try to coach the 7, he doesn't take any of the information that you give you. He's not really coachable, kind of has a bad attitude. But you take a 5 who works hard, has a good attitude, and he listens, and he applies the things that you're teaching him. Now all of a sudden that 5 is now a 7 or an 8. So I would rather have this kid than this kid who's already a 7 who isn't coachable. And find out what kind of players they are outside of baseball. Like, what are their friends like? What do they do on their spare time? Are they hanging out with the wrong crowd? Are they partying? Are they working out? What's their nutrition like? Now, these are all things that are going to help you decide what kind of person the players are. Now, there's a lot more to picking the team than just choosing the best players. Now, I would rather have a group of average players who work hard, who have good attitudes and have potential and who are coachable, than a group of really skilled players who have bad attitudes, who don't work hard and don't listen. On paper, this team might look better, but in reality, this team is far more dangerous. I can work with kids who work hard, have good attitudes, have potential, and are coachable. I can't work with kids who have bad attitudes and think they're better than everybody. Now remember, your goal as a coach is just to not win games. Nobody cares how many games you win until you get to the college or professional level. Your goal is to develop these kids as players, as teammates, and most of all, better people. Now, when I say it doesn't matter how many games you win or lose, I do mean that. That doesn't mean that you don't try to win and you don't work hard. It just means that the result doesn't matter. It's more about the process than the outcome. You got to remember, at the end of the day, all these kids are going to grow up to be adults. And as a coach, you're going to have a way bigger impact and influence on them than you think. So when you sign up to be a coach, you have to know that you signed up to be a role model and you have to act like it. Be a good person, make a positive impact, show them how to talk to people, show them how to treat people, show them what hard work looks like. Now, if you follow these principles, your team, the players, the coaches, the parents are all going to be better off in the long run. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button below, and I'll see you next week.